That's why I caused the incident at the museum opening, with as many witnesses as possible. I'm sorry. Gregory, my master, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone. Mr. Shields. I will bring a tear to my eye. I'll give you the hug. Come here, Ray. Give me the hug. I can feel it right now. Just that molesting me. Hello everyone, this is Natnarf signing back in, and welcome back to Miles Edwards' 8th Attorney Investigation Prosecutor's Path to... oh my god. And now we're gonna get her to confess. I hope we can get her to confess. This case has dragged on too long. Hold it! What were you doing before the judging began? I was in the room on the second floor practicing my dancing. Oh yes, with the nice cleavage right there. I was performing on the TV show Piece of Cake back then. Piece of Cake? What kind of show was that? It was a children's program. The host made sweets while singing and dancing. Ooh, it sounds like fun. Well, that's unexpected. You knew about the show, Miles? My father told me about it once, so I just happened to watch it a few times. Nice! So Miss Hall was practicing her dancing in her room. Oh, my. Sorry. No. It couldn't have been then. I should just listen to more of her testimony. During the judging at Monsieur Master's request, I went to the camera. Hold it! So you were the one who could move the who could move freely during the judging period. I certainly would have had more freedom to move about during the contestants. However, I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Monsieur Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly into the entryway. You want to change the film in the camera? No, I need to read everything first. It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur dead body. Hold it! So you entered Mr. Master's room before you delivered the camera. Yes, I heard the sound of something break. You see? Ouch. Monsieur Master? Are you in here? Eek! What are you doing? Get the pencil. That was actually the sound of the ship breaking. Someone snuck a bite of it, you see? When the body was discovered, was Mr. Master still judging Mr. Gustavi's room? I'm sure that's what he was. Monsieur Master is the type of person who could carefully judge one room at a time. She found Mr. Dover's body inside Mr. Master's room. I've stolen the sculptures then. No, but I just want to listen to everything. It couldn't have been there. I should just listen to more of her testimony. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone in there. Except... what? You should do so in the same manner of today. Yes, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation. Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. What? Toilet? Popo? What are you talking about? The patio to the main building. What are you talking about? I see. Did anything seem strange to you then? Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea. He also said something about how the Sorcerer was chilled. The Sorcerer was chilled. Maybe it was, but I want to hear everything. It couldn't have been them. I should just listen to her more of a testimony. I think... Because then I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering that room. What's fun? I think it's a T again. Because she said the table was cold. I think it's there. Because there's no other way the things were cold later on. Hey, monkey. My pants. Yeah, the monkey's so skinny for a big pants. That was when you stole the sherbet sculptures. I'm sorry, but your shield and the company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Can you stop lying? Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight? That's precisely what I'm saying. This is where she hid the sculptures. Just hid them right under the nose. Right in here,
Take that!
Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart. It was the sculpture itself. Eee! But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would notice immediately. I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures. What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around? This is what Miss Hall used to transfer the sculptures. Where's that big-ass cart?
Take that!
This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems the same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio. Ding ding ding. That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. The milk on the floor, Tiny. Are you saying she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures? Yes. The sculptures were placed on this lift trolley, then covered with a tablecloth. It would be disguised as a service cart and move without arousing suspicion. Eek! How could that be? So the sorcerers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures? Yep. Kate? What's the meaning of this? What were you thinking? That was truly impressive. You certainly are Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to mention any proof that I stole the sculptures remain. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected. Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the Sorbet sculptures from the Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edward says. I disguised the lift trolley as a service car, and I dirty as I made my way back and forth. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it. An ice block with star clusters on it. That seems familiar. The one on the cart. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, inside it must be hollow. The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. Good. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's Charbettes alone. 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice. I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. Huh? The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine detail. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per rule, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover. So it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases. In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole that had melted. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess. Then she must know. She knows this isn't enough to try her in court. That is all I have to say. But even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it. What? What do you mean by that? Heavens. You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much? Nope. Perhaps you should read the book concerning the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations? I hate that rule. To put it simply, it's the time frame in which the suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page. Where? Where? The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years. Ah! Yep. That's right. And Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures. So that's how it is. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. It appears that Prosecutor Edward's tepid reasoning has all been for naught.
Objection!
Nope, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I wonder about that. I deduce Miss Hall's actions simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago. Are you saying that I hid the body? That's correct. But how can someone hide a body for 18 years? I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances. So you're saying that circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden? When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just sherbet sculptures. If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. In the flesh! Where'd you go? Excuse me. No, thank you. Yeah.
Take that!
This is the photograph of Mr. Dog. A hello picture. That's a bit scary. Author of the sculptures? Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture? I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in the picture can one see the body of the victim? It's time to expose the location of the body in the photograph. I can't see. It's right there, but I can't see. Ow.
Take that!
The Gemini sculpture? Yes, while it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance, in reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself. Ayo! This eye sculpture was the victim's body? Well, I can see from this picture is an eye sculpture statue.
Objection!
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it. Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to cover the body? It's obvious. It's this beautiful damn thing.
Take that!
This is the cloth that was covering the sculpture in the Autumn Palace. This cloth manipulates light with it. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia? Hey, Jessie! When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering blue lights. That cloth will only emit light when it's attached to a special device.
Objection!
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal. Dun, dun, dun. This is a rainbow light device. A rainbow light device. Detective Cumtree reported one in the Winter Palace. This is the device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures. By using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow, Mr. Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture. That's ridiculous! So then, when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace, that's right, the body had been in front of us all along, disguised as the Gemini. Don't slam your hammer at me. However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both... Was that fly? Were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
Objection!
If we had found it in there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it. Absurd. They say she threw the body into the fountain without us noticing. No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley? Ah! She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream of the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk into the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first. It was found by Delicia. And eventually, the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Monsieur Edward, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body? Yes, I do. If you cannot prove that, there is no way I can accept what you're saying. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Ball move the body? Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answer lies in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions. Prosecutor Edward, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Curator? Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did. Then it's time we see your answer, your power. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions?
Take that!
The painting. Another sketch. Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one. The sketch Larry drew of the women. Bless you. At the fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service cart on the left side of the sketch. Service cart. What about it? Don't you see? What transpired? What the hell is that? Is that a mosquito?
Yes.
I see mosquito face. Where'd the mosquito go? I'll kill that later. Don't you see what transpired 18 years ago has happened again? Miss Hall was moving a body in the sketch. Oh no. Please wait. I don't see Monsieur Dover's body anywhere in that drawing. all I did was hand out chocolates to everyone. The key detail in this sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake. The tablecloth is light blue. It may be light blue in the sketch, but no blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Perhaps it's a light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing underneath the tablecloth. What? But the lift trolley is regular in sketch. If you just placed the body in the lift trolley, we'd have noticed immediately. There were 2 blocks of ice in the winter palace that were completely hollow. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would have looked like a service car. That's his hall. You put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you? I never imagined you would be able to deduce so much from just a single sketch. But what if it is just a mistake? Because, like you said before, it doesn't prove anything. I agree that alone the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to the lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service cart, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates. The chocolates I gave you, everyone. Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket. Ah, now that you mention it, they were a bit melted. But they were still tasty. So why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through? Because it's melting? That's because once the body was disposed of, you no longer had the service card. Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go? If she had been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, we wouldn't have time to dispose of the tablecloth. Prosecutor Edward, can you answer that for me? The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us. Do clarify? The tablecloth is behind the body. Where is it now? She has it with her. She has it. It can't be anywhere else. Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her. Please. Miss Hall is carrying it out with her out in the open. That dress. Ah, you mean that's Hall? It's cute. Yep. Ouch. Wearing the tablecloth around your waist. Ayya! The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was a direct contact with the block of ice. Don't do that to me. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once. There's no need to examine the tablecloth. You wash it. It's just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Vidlicia and I moved the body. Why are you crying? I have done terrible things. Madame Delicia, I am so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Megaton's X bottle. I slipped it into the man's pocket to make it look like suicide. And if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia. You idiot! Kitty! Kate, what were you thinking? Weren't we always trying to save Mr. Master together? I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I had proven Monsieur Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it is too late to say that now. Kate, why? Why would you go this far? Even for Monsieur Shield, I have caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I have been a criminal. The highest incident. Don't tell me that you were the true corporal. My greatest crime was stealing the sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interest. While Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer. However, I only wanted to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them. So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body. Then who really killed him? Monsieur Master would never take another person's life. But because of me, the body vanished and Monsieur Master was found guilty. That kind of man. He treated everyone like me like family. He meant more to me than anyone else. And yet... Kate? When Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of this mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago. But when I saw the sculpture still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized that I was the only one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the limitations had already expired. Therefore, I could think of no other way to atone for my sins. It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master. What do you think about that? What do you think about, Mr. Edgeworth? There's one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Yes, who killed the guy? Why will this hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 18 years ago to confuse the crew rooms. I wonder why Kate was trying to accomplish. She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was to find the true culprit. Perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Yes. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you will attract those involved in the past incident. Only two people would know where the body was hidden. You and the true criminal. The one who is unconscious in the bed. The culprit would have panicked knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have stolen the body. So, how could she protect the evidence while simulating luring in the culprit? I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. And then, Miss Hall, you must have thought, whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. Oh, what? But that means that person is the true culprit? Oh yes, the one in bed. Please wait a moment. Prosecutor Edward, do you realize what you're saying? Do you intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident? Oh yes, I do. I was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? Yep. However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Should I announce the true killer or Isaac Dover? I'll make it, as he's the only one left that hasn't been in this whole conversation the whole time. What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate. Yes, that's correct. Judge Courtney, I indict this person as the true criminal culprit behind the IS-7 incident.
Take that!
The asshole. Dane Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. Gusty is? picked that up for you, exactly. Mr. Gustav. Miss Hall, don't you believe it? Didn't you believe that if you open this gallery, the true criminal will come? That's why. You set up the poison gas trap, is it not? You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Monsieur Edward. Now, would you please tell us the whole truth? Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set the trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling. All that was left for was a trap to do his work. When I heard Monsieur Gustave was exposed to the poison gas, I realized this was the culprit. And I thought that if the police discovered Monsieur Dever's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence. Monsieur Master's innocence. Why didn't you ever come to talk to me? There might have been another way. I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Master as soon as possible. Kate. Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum opening, with as many witnesses as possible. I'm sorry. Gregory, my master, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone. Mr. Shields. I will bring a tear to my eye. I'll give you the hug. Come here, Ray. Give me the hug. I can feel it right now. Just that molesting me. I'll do the top on him as well. The one who should be apologizing is me. Monsieur Edward, Monsieur Shields, I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I am given. However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name. Where did you disappear to? The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, you think that things would end this way. Ah, no! I will continue. I still have a few minutes left. Yes. It's a good thing I didn't have to do all over again the cases. When I moved them from this mume to this mume. I pick up 3 to 11. It's been 30 minutes standing outside. Miss Hall, have you composed yourself? Yes. What you did, no matter the reason, was unforgivable. Yes, I know. However, you committed this crime in order to prove Mr. Master's innocence. If the true culprit is someone else, we have a duty to reinvestigate. Oh, come on, it was closed 18 years ago. You should shush him out. No false evidence from the eyes evidence remains in the official case files. Moreover, there is no more evidence to lend credence to Miss Hall's testimony. In the bag? What? Don't touch. Don't break it anymore. We should first arrest Miss Hall as the culprit behind today's incident.
Objection!
We cannot be certain that all the case files are accurate. After all, the prosecutor in the case has a history of forging evidence. Are you suggesting that the PIC overlooked such a prosecutor? That's none of my concern. The truth is that evidence was falsified. And the fact that Dover's body from 18 years ago was just discovered proves it. Prosecutor Edward, I can see remnants of Prosecutor von Karma within you. What do you say? You tried to deceive the PIC and fabricate the truth. Let me inform you of the PIC's logic. Can you stop accusing me for everything that stupid thing guy? I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Costavia today in order to pin the blame on him. Oh my god, you woman, really? Or is it really what she believes? Oh my god. Yes, every word I utter is for the sake of law and order. It seems she intends to hide the truth for the sake of the PIC. At this rate, neither Mr. Master nor Miss Hall will be saved. I will kill her. This.
Hold it!
If she wanted to pin the crime on somebody, why choose Mr. Costavia? Perhaps Mr. Costavia suspected Miss Hall was a criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. Or he was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever. Can you prove that theory? Mr. Costavia is currently teetering on the brink of death. There's probably no way to prove it unless he regains consciousness. In other words, there's nothing we can do for now. That's not true. There must be something we can do. You still don't get it, do you? Allow me to give you a clear explanation. What? We already have ample evidence for both IS-7 and today's poison gas system. There's no need to investigate any further. I will put this ass on you.
Objection!
Right here. I'm very angry at her. I'm very angry, so everything's fast forward. You can pause everything if you want, but I really will fast forward. There's still one piece of evidence from the IS-7 incident that remains unsettled. Take a look at this. This is the forensic report. This is the forensic results from the Gemini sculpture that melted in the Winter Palace. According to the results of the analysis, traces of someone's blood were found. Who does this blood belong to? Until we know the answer, the case is still open. There was blood mixed in with the remains of the Gemini sculpture? I heard nothing of this from Sebastian. There's a support from Detective Gumshoe. I had planned to tell Mr. DeBeste myself. So even though you had no investigative authority, you still did as you did. I shall report everything that transpired today to the PIC. I will not avert my eyes from the truth, nor shall I overlook the mistakes of the past. If you wish to report my actions, go ahead, be my guest. And in exchange, I want you to let me investigate this case to the very end. It is not my place to decide such things. I must ask that you check with Sebastian regarding this matter. Where's the fool anyway? He's been gone for so long. Good news, guys. Oh my god. Thanks to our early detection, Mr. Costavia's life was saved. So, he's alive. Would you be the one who saved my life? Hey, Mr. Costavia. You are Mr. Assistant, are you not? You grown so big this time. This one is for your assist. This one is your assistant, then. No, I'm going. He is an assistant candidate, and Gregory Edward's son. I am Miles Edward, a prosecutor. What a twist of fate. I am in your debt thanks to you that I have completely recovered. Hey, there's no need for thanks. Since you're alive, we can reach the truth behind the incident 18 years ago. What do you speak of? While you were unconscious, the truth has started to come to light. You may be Isaac Dover's murderer. What? Oh, the face is sweating. What? Oh, really? Miss Hall was looking for the criminal behind the events of 18 years ago. That's why she set off the poison gas in the Pisces case. Mr. Costavia, the events of the incident 18 years ago. Tell us what really happened. So, you wish to remain silent? Nah, I think he's just meditating. You can sleep standing up? What a useful technique they have. Skill, I mean. Meditation is different from sleeping. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us what you did 18 years ago. I am the criminal because I fell for the trap. That's not a very funny joke. I am a victim, not the culprit. Mr. Gustavia, it has not yet been made clear whether or not you are the criminal. This is only their basis speculation. You do not concern yourself with the drivel of the prosecutor without jurisdiction. At least there is one person here who understands. My name is Justine Courtney. I am a judge. If you would like, I would be happy to assist you. Let us show Prosecutor Edward the truth of 18 years ago. Understood. I shall prove my innocence to you, Sir Prosecutor.
Objection!
Judge Courtney, is that your answer? Do you intend to bury the truth of the IS incident before it can be brought to light? I merely believe the judgment of the goddess of law. Ultimately, those who render judgment are only human. As long as humans control the law, there is no guarantee that the very verdict is correct. If you are going to help conceal the truth, I will not hold back. I am looking forward to it. Lady Justine, what should I do now? You are being suspected because you set off the poison gas. Can you tell us what the reason why you opened the Pisces case? Understood. I hope you stab yourself in the butt. I came to see Sir Dover's work from 18 years old. Why did you need to open it then? However, I accidentally entered the museum a half hour before it opened. Miss Hall, there's nobody in the entrance, correct? Since I thought the criminal from 18 years ago might be coming, I had no security guards in place. I didn't even lock the doors. I was very busy with opening preparations, so there was nobody in the first floor. In addition, I locked every palace door aside from the autumn one. I see. This must have been done in order to lure the criminal to the autumn palace, which is why he ended up entering the autumn palace. It's already suspicious that he snuck into the museum in the first place. The gallery should remain silent, and so should you. Unless you have evidence that can prove his testimony false, I'll not allow any objections. The gallery isn't even a courtroom. Now then, why did you open the Pisces case? Palace case. I wish to view Sir Dover's handiwork up close. The Gemini sculpture. No, it was actually the Pisces, wasn't it? The lid had been frozen such, so I borrowed the burner to open it. As soon as I opened the lid, poison gas began pouring out. That's quite a convenient testimony. Sounds like a total lie, doesn't it? There are parts of Mr. Gustavi's testimony that I have issues with as well. However, there are no evidence to disprove it. But that's stupid. It did not make sense for suspicion to fall on Lady Catherine before myself. She may have intended to release the poison gas haphazardly.
Objection!
Udo. Kate turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released, as she specifically targeted the person who triggered the trap. Mr. Gustavia, you were her only target. You're willing to accept the words of this criminal as the truth? This hall must atone for her crime. However, the same can be said for the criminal from 18 years ago. Sir Prosecutor, it seems you wish to suspect me to the bitter end. However, I had no reason to murder Sir Dover. If there is no evidence to suggest that I killed him, you cannot suspect me. Mr. Edward, can't you prove that Mr. Gustavia is the criminal? All we know for sure is that Mr. Gustavia fell victim to the poison gas. No matter how strange his behavior was, it won't prove he committed the murder. But that's... Can you stop saying the same thing? Mr. Shields, is there nothing we can do? Well, if there isn't any evidence, we should try reorganizing the facts. If Mr. Gustavia was the one who killed Mr. Dover, there must have been a motive. Gustavia himself is denying that such a motive exists. Oh my god, the picture's still beautiful. It's not easy to take another person's life. 18 years ago, your old man had also discussed motives with Prosecutor von Karma. You claim their collaboration is irrelevant. If Mr. Gustavi and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour, helped Dover with his final dessert, but Dover didn't help. It served as a motive for murder. We couldn't talk with Mr. Gustavi 18 years ago, but this time things are different. If we connect everything we learned from so far, the truth might be revealed. Yes, I suppose so. It seems I must re-examine information from 18 years ago. I must recall all the details that have remained unexplained. Like Superman! So, the glove finger marks on the picture frame. Was your doing? Yikes! Alicia denied leaving the finger marks on the frame. If they were left by Mr. Gustavia, he may have been trying to view the angel's recipe. Wow. Since your master asked me to change the film in the camera, it seemed that the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough. There wasn't enough film? It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining. Who used it? Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake, though. The information my father collected 80 years ago was certainly not for naught. If there's no evidence, then I shall use my logic to reveal the truth. Oh, my logic brain! Oh, my brain! What? No. Okay. You broke it again, did you? Mr. Gustavia, you collaborated with the victim, Isaac Dover, to create your desserts, didn't you? Oh, it seems you know about my secret. Mr. Shields told me about it. Hey, yeah, what did you do again? Why you close my windows? Everything I search on the tab is always gone. Design? Are you in charge of the taste? Or is that you were in charge of the taste? Is that correct? Back then, my training had been insufficient. It seems you worked together until the semi-finals, but not during the finals. Why is that? We both wished to compete in the finals against Sir Master in our own merits.
Objection!
You must have also helped with Isaac Dover's dessert even during the finals. Your face is sweating. What makes you able to declare something like that? Didn't you tell Prosecutor von Karma about it yourself, 18 years ago? That you cooperated until the day before the finals. Ultra in Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Yep. Such an amount would most likely be needed to be left overnight to freeze, which means Mr. Gustavi prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before. That's right. So you realize Gustavi's corporation ended the day before the finals. And why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavi in the return? The views of the dead are no concern of me. Of me. Oh my god, you really are a bastard. Why did Isaac Dover not help you in return? If there is a reason why your partnership with Isaac Dover broke down, that would be a motive for murder. Ayah! That could be a possibility. However, Sir Dover and I ended up our partnership peacefully. A peaceful breakup? That's hard to imagine. Not to mention, it's absurd to think that I killed Sir Dover in Master's room. I couldn't have killed Sir Dover while Sir Master was also there, making his desserts. What are you talking about? In other words, there is no way I could have committed the murder. That's not true. If there was a moment when Mr. Master was absent from the room. It was tea time. Maybe this. Maybe he stole it to take a picture of that thing. If he had photographed the contents of the angel's recipe, he wouldn't need to steal it. Perhaps Sir Gustavio used Mr. Master's camera to take the pictures. If he had stolen the actual recipe book, the police would have found out. I see. Pictures, eh? The problem is the time at which he entered Mr. Master's room. Mr. Gustavio could have moved around freely during the afternoon tea, right? Because it seems both him and Mr. Dover did not participate in the afternoon tea. That's right. If I remember correctly, the only time we can prove that Dover was still alive is and nothing, as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the lock was the Jeff Master. Was Master's desserts all that you ate? Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts. After the contest began, Isaac Dover was locked up in his room. If we assume he was killed at some point before Delicia snuck into his room, then there is a high chance that he was killed before the afternoon tea was over. Ew, that means she ate some blood in that thing. What do you think, people? I think I'll just leave this episode right here, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to see more of this, just simply wave your wand and hit the like button and the subscribe button like a sorcerer to see more of the video and to see the conclusion of this. I hope it's a conclusion. So until then, this is Natnarf signing off.